to the Web3 Breakfast crew. Coffee in a cup, charts on the screen. It's morning macro. Yeah. Wake up early with the sunrise glow. Bitcoin moving and the markets flow. Charts on the screen while the coffee brew. Morning macro breaking all the news. Adam Back say a million might come, but the bear's still beating the crash war drum. ETF flow start flipping around. Institution money moving underground. Wall Street watching what the chain can do. BlackRock talking tokenizing too. Finance shifting like a tectonic plate. Blockchain rails gonna modernize the state. Morning macro, yeah, we breaking the code. Markets rising while the coffee get poured. From the Fed to the chain, we watching it grow. Every morning that's the place we go. Pizza Friday, yeah, the slices are hot. Charts on green while the Bitcoin pops. Builders, traders, degens all know. Wake up every morning for morning macro. A bank, regulators watching every move they make. Coinbase blurring Wall Street lines. Tokenized markets coming online. Fed and OCC setting the rules. Banks getting ready for blockchain tools. Tokenized stocks might lead the way. Finance running 24 hours a day. Some say 45K coming real soon. Others say Bitcoin reaching the moon. Noise in the market every single day, but the long game always finds a way. It's morning macro, yeah, we breaking the code. Markets rising while the coffee get poured. From the Fed to the chain, we watching it grow. Every morning that's the place we go. Pizza Friday, yeah, the slices are hot. Charts on green while the Bitcoin pops. Builders, traders, degens all know. Wake up every morning for morning macro. Yeah, man, markets rising, tokenizing, Wall Street realizing, crypto revolution, coffee steaming, charts are gleaming, every morning we streaming, morning macro, let the rhythm play, breaking crypto headlines every day. Pizza Friday, let the good vibes flow. W3BC running the show. Bitcoin rising like the morning sun. Another cycle just begun. Grab your coffee, grab a slice and go. Time to watch the morning macro.
Yo. GM, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you were feeling the vibes. There it is. It's Friday morning. I know DJ Brian was not feeling the vibes. He was like, what is this? What is happening? Why are we doing reggae? So we're gonna play some what? Ibiza chill. He was into reggae in the 60s and the early 70s. All right, I got you, my guy. We'll do some Ibiza chill for Monday. That will be the theme song. I hope you guys enjoy that. I kind of get a kick out of that. So that's basically all the news that's going into the show goes into the song, and you know, I think it's funny. GM, cheers. Have your coffee. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you pizza, and that is pretty much the same damn thing. It is Monday. It is Friday. I don't know why I thought I was going to say Monday, but hope you had a fantastic week. You got one more day. We all got one more day to get through, and then it's Pizza Friday night, and then you get the weekend. Obviously, the Pizza Friday night is precursor to the weekend. We, I believe, are going to be going out downtown in our town to go have pizza instead of making it at home. It has been weeks since I've been making the pizzas, and but we're going out tonight, which should be fun. It is beautiful. It's going to be like 80 degrees here again today. I saw some people in the Web3 Breakfast chat, in our morning chat. They were talking about digging themselves out of ice and snow. And I'm like, holy Toledo. It has been beautiful. We've had some shitty weather here in Northwest Georgia, but the last couple days have been gorgeous. Today is going to be gorgeous. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be 80 degrees. It's going to be sunny. I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to be sunny and 80. Heck yeah. Love every second of that. So we'll see. Shout out to our chat. I see, I knew it. I told you guys yesterday, when Curtis got the gold medal, Brian was going to be here early. The show it started at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock was the show start. At 7:12, my guy Brian was in the chat dropping his stuff. So look, I mean, people get in here early. They're fighting for that gold medal. As soon as it's going to mean something, it'll be some kind of a reward. That's the goal. That's the point, and we'll be rewarding the community members. That's where we're headed. So because we're building something, we're building, baby. Cheers again. I don't have to keep saying it. I'm just not fully caffeinated yet. So this is what I do. I got like this big Yeti cup. So I do a pour over. Here's the deal. I have tried everything. Everything for coffee. Percolators, pour overs, all sorts of thingamabobs. And as it turns out, and I'm trying to I don't want to use like a typical machine because I don't want the plastic, right? I don't want the hot ass water in plastic. It's just cancer. Like, no, thank you. Like, I don't use the bleached filters. Like, I don't use the white coffee filters. I use the unbleached because I don't want to add fucking hot ass bleach into my coffee. I just want to have like coffee. And so doing the pour over. And so I fill one of these suckers up every day with coffee, and that's what I drink. And now this is my second one. I was up early today, so I'm on my second one. So I'll be drinking a bunch of coffee today. All right, so DJ and Brian back. All of that being said, GM, guys, go ahead and smash the like button. We are getting started here in just a few minutes. It is Friday morning. Hey, we'll handle something like that a little bit later in the show. Don't you worry. For anybody in the chat that wants to get their pizza order in, you can put it in throughout the show, and at the end, I'll go through and read any pizza orders that we get, any special messages, any pizza orders. We'll read that stuff at the end. Okay, so there we go. We got DJ Brian in the house, Blocky in the building. Let's go. Michael Navarro, GM brothers, Carrie Cook. I almost said McCook. Carrie McCook is my Irish buddy. Carrie McCook. That was captain. That was the captain. No one escapes me lucky charms. Let's see who else we got. Marta Blanc. Is J Chain's going to be a real human person or an AI digital pretend human that people love to comment as if they believe they're seeing a human? You just heard your voice. Yay. Not AI. Not AI. I can mark myself safe, and I have not turned into AI robot yet. Can I confirm that it is coming? I plead the fifth. Absolutely. Let's see. Who else we got in the building? Yep. Oh, there was a whole conversation as if I was real. Nice. Get a cat mug. A cat mug? What are you, crazy? We do have. I think we're gonna. So we got a mug that we're gonna probably start to customize a little bit more, and we'll change it up. It's like our seasonal mug, and I think it still has bats on it from Halloween. But we're gonna do something about this, and I will have a little custom coffee mug, and maybe I'll just get a fresh plain one, and or whatever. But we'll put stuff on the coffee cup. Still scrolling through the chat. Y'all are crushing it today. Let's go. Carry gold like the butter. I will say something. I had, my mom made some bread, some Irish bread. and she had some Irish butter to go with it. I'm not typically a fan of the Irish butter. I think it was unnecessary, but it's like on this Irish bread, it was delicious. So shout out, Mom, for the Irish bread, Irish bread and butter. All right. Let's get into some crypto talk. That's probably why you guys are here. Soda bread. Yes, sir. DJ and Brian, the Irish soda bread. That's exactly what it was. 100%. It was good. Carrie's not Irish. I think Carrie McCook is. Your alter ego in the metaverse, Carrie, is Carrie McCook, and he's a short leprechaun. Sorry if you heard me drinking that into the microphone. That is not something I want to do. I don't care to do that. All right. Let's hop into the screens here. Let's take a look at some stuff. Boom. The fear index is that fear and greed index is a extreme fear at 19. So we're still hanging tight there. I refreshed this before we went live just to make sure. Still 19. There we go. You never know if we're catching this thing right in the middle of the flippening. It's a little bit higher on CoinMarketCap. Again, we'll refresh over there just to make sure. 23, not too far off, but a little bit higher. But not in extreme fear. That's the difference. Is that CoinMarketCap is saying fear, whereas CoinGlass is saying extreme fear. But the whole market itself is down a little bit today, as you would probably expect on a Friday. The Friday sell-off, everybody unwinding their positions as far as the stonks boys go. They're getting ready to kick back, have a 2-for-1 margaritas lunch at Chili's with the boys. Go celebrate a nice week. Couple pumps and some dumps. They capitalized, made a couple racks, and now they're headed to go get 2-for-1s. So that being said, I expect a farther dump today. I know the market is down, Bitcoin down 4%. You got ETH down, same. They're 3.6%, both down about 4%, down a little bit more earlier. Maybe making a little bit of a retrace or whatever. We'll see. It'll be a volatile day. I think there's some numbers like non-farm payrolls coming out this morning at 8:30. So we could see some volatility in the dollar, which who knows what it does with crypto today. We'll see all that stuff later. But a quick rundown. You got Bitcoin 69.9, ETH 2,050 bucks. You got BNB 637, XRP 138. Man, remember that story yesterday talking about $1,000 XRP? I mean, if we could just get to $10, come on. You got Solana, $86. What do you think? Where do you think Solana's going to go? You think we're going to see this thing go down a little bit more? We could. Tron, 28 cents. Justin's son was just like, well, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. Maybe we'll pull up an article about that right now. Let me just pull an article just so I don't misspeak. Justin's son. Let's go Toranos. Here we go. Justin. What? Oh, gosh. Nope. Let's not do that. Brought up Phantom Wallet. That was wild. SEC dismisses claims against Justin's son and Tron Foundation. BitTorrent developer Rainberry agrees to pay $10 million. That's the drop in the bucket to him. He's a billionaire. $10 million. Give me a break. That don't matter. Tron is up when everything else is down, as it always is. He's buying his own supply. He's getting high on his own supply. That Justin's son, he's a toker. He's getting high on his own supply. Dogecoin, 9 cents. Cardano, back to number 10. Whoa. Cardano community. Live long and prosper. I need you know what I need? I need a Cardano shirt. I'm going to wear a Cardano shirt, and it's going to be a nerd shirt. It is going to be a polo shirt, and it's going to have a pocket protector. And that's going to be Crypto Billy. GM, brother. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I'm going to have a Cardano shirt, and it's going to be my nerd shirt. And I'm going to have a pocket protector and like a name tag. So I'll make that this weekend. Maybe I'll wear that on making fun of Cardano next week. Just because I can. All right. Bitcoin Cash coming in at number 11. What is Bitcoin Cash doing at number 11? That's crazy. Where'd that come from? Hyper liquid 13. Anything crazy? Anything? What's besides Tron? Anything pumping? River, Humanity Program? Nothing. Nothing. World Liberty Financial USD1 is pumping. 0.05%. Okay, all the stable coins are pumping. There it is. All right. Here we go. We were looking at this before, the Fear and Greed Index. Altcoin season sitting at a 35. As you can see, this has been slightly moving up, a little bit of rocky road, a little bit of volatility here. Certainly is nowhere near an altcoin season. I would probably venture to say that we are lower than a 35. We can look at the total 3. The total 3 is everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Well, wait. There's one that excludes the stables too, which we would probably want. But you could see here. Here, let me turn off the leapfrog. We don't need that on for this chart. But as you can see, we are climbing, but yet in a pretty good decline. That's a 15 minute. Wow, we're degenning out today. Where are we at here? Okay. All right, let's go on the daily. That's what we want to see. All right, so just like everything else in the market, we have been in a downtrend since October. Let's see, we can draw ourselves a nice little channel here, right? Let's say we've had a few peaks, a few valleys, some things that dipped a little bit lower, but that's roughly it. So we're sitting, somewhere closer to the high side of the trend. Some room to go, but also some room to go down as far as this entire market cap goes. We're still in a downtrend, and as you know, you're in a downtrend until you're not, and you have to break a structure, and you have to really change the whole dynamic of what's going on. Like, look, this right here. Let's go. Wait, that's not what I want. I want this. So like this right here, right? You have like that whole thing, right? And you had to break structure, and we could probably maybe maybe bring that down or whatever. But once that like breaks up out of there, then look, this is you've broken that structure. It's on to something else. So we have not done that quite yet. I would say that this could you draw it like that? I mean, you could, hitting this wick here. You could say that we were on a local uptrend, so we would have to continue to go up and break up out of the downtrend. So as you can see, for us to even be anything remotely close to an altcoin season, and remember, this is the total crypto market cap that just excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is the other? That's what it is, right? The others chart. Yeah. Okay. Oh shit! Look at that. We did wick down past the big scam wick right here. This is ultimately the chart that I wanted. The others chart. The money is spread over 34 million coins. Absolutely. The dilution across this market is insane. So it's going to be very hard to see an altcoin season unless we go through an extended bear market, right? Unless that's what happens right now, and you see a lot of those coins, right? A lot of those millions of coins that have flooded the market, that have really come in. And obviously, there's a whole conversation to have about locked liquidity, but with the whole idea of all of that dilution, you need to have some of this shit just go away, right? You need people to sell what they have. You need them to understand, look, Your fucking dust is never going to come back. Your shit coin is never going to come back. Sell that dog shit now. Put it into something that's going to do something. And even if it's just $5, it's $5. It's not, your lottery ticket of this fucker coming back is like, it's unrealistic. Plus, that's the shit that's hurting the market. So, like, everybody needs to nut up and sell their dog shit and put it into some coins that matter. There you go. We need a deletion protocol, 100%. Somehow to tie that liquidity back to whatever coin you use, right? And so if it's all those fucking Solana coins, like if we could figure out how to delete like all those shit fucking coins on Solana, that would make Solana pump, right? Or maybe some of the actual tokens in the Solana ecosystem. You could. What else is over there? Is Pith on? No, Pith is Pith on Solana. No, I'm crazy, right? Am I being crazy right now? Yeah. It is on Solana. CCC. There's the contract for it right there. And so tokens like that, you could swap your dog shit for Pith. You could swap shit. All of your dog shit coins that you have, you could swap for meaningful things and start building a position in meaningful coins. Like, the opportunity would present itself. I think, I'd had a conversation. I actually had a conversation with AJ. We had a really good conversation yesterday afternoon. We're going to be doing some stuff together pretty soon. Really excited about that. But this is one of the things that we were talking about. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it because him and I are going to have we're going to record an interview together, and I'll probably, do it live at some point, or I'll play it on the show. It'll be pre-recorded and we'll just play it. I'm not going to get into it. Let's move on. Should we get into some articles now? That was it for CoinMarketCap. We did everything, right? We talked about the market cap going down, the fear and greed index, a little bit different. We were looking at CoinGlass, altcoin season. We do any shrimp and ops? There you go, 21.9. So it's down a little bit more today than it was yesterday. You can still get your midnight if you want it. Arrow, go get it. Ondo, go get it. VeChain, that's your call. Aptos, seems all right. Okay, I do want to talk a little bit about what AJ and I were going to talk about, and it has to do with prior. I don't want to say misconceptions. That's probably the right thing, or notions, or ideas, or whatever it might be, right? A lot of coins that we thought, a lot of projects that we thought were going to make it are not going to. And I think, there was at one point, the push was most of your portfolio should be within the top 100. And then from there, have some moon bags, outside of there, just in case. I feel like that narrative is shifting a little bit, at least for me, right? And what I'm focusing on for me personally in the strategy that I'd like to employ for myself and what I think maybe some other people would probably benefit from experience, exposure, and all that stuff, is that right now the goal is to put everything into Bitcoin. Everything, right now. All the DCAs, if I'm DCAing anything, it is just into Bitcoin. I firmly believe that we are going to see altcoins go down a little bit more. We are going to see another leg down, in my opinion. I don't think that we have bottomed out. With that being said, any altcoins that I want to get, I will wait. There are very few. You guys have heard me. There are very, very few altcoins that I'm willing to even accept in my portfolio at this particular moment. I think, building a portfolio of Bitcoin, Ethereum, sure. Probably, I don't know if I would get the ERC20 or the base version. just to have the exposure, just to have it, but be able to move things around a little bit easier and cheaper if you have it on base. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, for sure, for sure. Would I rather have more Bitcoin than a stack of XRP? Potentially. Would I like to have a stack of XRP just in case? We'll talk about a story later today. Is Ripple going to become a bank? Crypto.com is. Coinbase probably is. Why not Ripple? That could be what sets them up. Damn it, I forgot to update that graphic again. And let me just tell you, we are at 1357. So, and we're in a short right now. I got a tight stop loss set, and let's see, this thing's climbing up. So I might get stopped out on it. It's only $16, but we'll see. I was expecting a further move down, but it's deciding to go back up. But we'll see. But right now, the account is about 1360. So we're day by day, inchworm baby steps, Bob. We're getting that thing. We're making the right moves. We're being disciplined. We're being smart. And oh, there it was. We just got stopped out, and that's good. Hey, let's see if the market's pumped today. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the markets are going to go back up. I thought we were going to go back down to like 68.2. So we'll see. Anyhow, let's get back to the news here. In our first story, Adam Back, Blockstream CEO Adam Back predicts Bitcoin at $1.5 million. I'll tell you what, we've talked on a few spaces. We've had a few shows talking about $1 million Bitcoin. If it doesn't hit $1 million in the next several years, something went terribly wrong. Especially once all of the strategic reserves around the world get announced. And we're going to talk about Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. What's up with the chat? What is up with the chat? Jasmine. Oh, man. Jasmine. An app that takes your shit coin and burns it, and they take a cut, and you get something. Sure. Absolutely. I mean, there was always talks about people doing that kind of stuff with NFTs, right? Just like the incinerator. Like, just send them all there. They'll get destroyed. You get a little bit of dust, and you send it back. And then this way you clean out your wallet. You don't have to look at, useless garbage that you don't like anymore that, you ultimately, a lot of people bought those things. And listen, there is good art. There's one of ones. There's good artists and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all you fucking degens that got yourself, 5-time derivative collections. Like, they just, it was Bored Apes on XRP, and you went crazy for it. Like, you deserve that. You deserve what happened to you if you went heavy on derivatives derivatives. That was the whole thing. Like, people were just you couldn't have an original idea to save your life. People were just copying what was successful, and it just was trash. And just like the meme coin seeds. And I tell you what, there's a couple of people. That was another conversation that I had with AJ about really where some of us and some people are we're focused at right now in crypto, in the ecosystem, in the growth of it, right, in a much better way, in a positive way. I think we dealt with extractors, we dealt with scammers and bamboozlers and all that stuff. And I would say the extraction crew that came in through this last cycle, I hope that we never have to go through that again. And so there are several people that are looking to help, facilitate crypto and blockchain education to the masses in a much more positive way. And hopefully, the people who made their money, they move on and they go enjoy it, and we can get back to teaching people how to do the stuff correctly. So, all right, Jasmine. How much was Jack Dorsey's first tweet? I don't know that it was like millions, wasn't it? Let's look it up. Let's see here. 2.9 million. In March of 2021, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey sold his first ever tweet, just setting up a Twitter, as an NFT for 2.9 million. Can you imagine? Could you imagine paying fucking $3 million for that shit? Numbers are coming in. Yeah, what is it? It was the payroll non-farm. Payroll non-farm coming in today, if I'm not mistaken, right? What is this going to do? Is this? Well, probably not. In the video, I took a look at the euro, the USD against the Japan, and the Great Britain pound against the dollar from a technical perspective. All right, now this is not. All right, we'll see what happens. Let's watch the market. Let's go to. Let's go to 5-minute chart. For a minute while we talk about some other stuff. Let's see what happens today. It's Friday, right? Like liquidity is always a little different. You don't need as much to make candles happen. I still think we're going down. I'm not bearish. You guys know me. I'm a bull. But if we're headed to where I think we're headed, which 40s. We got to continue that. We may have a little relief here and there. We may go sideways and chop and do all that shit, which it kind of seems like we're doing right now. Especially, this is the 5-minute chart. Let's do this. Let's go on the daily. You can see we're kind of just dancing around in this little zone here. So we have been in a 12.5% zone for the last month. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means it's coiling like a snake. It's getting ready to do its thing. I poured my coffee because, remember, I poured my thing into this. Just a little bit. I poured it over my desk, and I just made like a big coffee stain all on my mouse pad. It happens, right? As they say, it happens. So I'm telling you, being in that tight of a zone for that long of a time, something big is going to happen. Are we going up? Good. Are we going down? That's what I've measured out. That's what I've been looking at, especially because look, we're in a downtrend until we're not. We got probably too many lines up on here, and we're going to do our 915 later. Here's the bottom where this right here, this gray box. This is our opportunity zone. This is basically, if we zoom all the way back here, you can see we had this scam wick back here from August of 2024. That took us to that zone, which we've never revisited. And what do we say about candle wicks? They become candlesticks. And so we've got that. There was a big dog fight right here. Big dog. We came up, we fought, got rejected, we touched right here, and then from there we broke through. So this is our dog fight. And remember, this line matches up with this line, which I believe is where we're going. We're going to settle the dust. We're going to get that revenge, as you say. And so we can, and just continuing on with this narrative and this conversation, we can pump, we can go up, we can have days of green candles, even big ones too. I mean, from where we're at right now, we talked about this. a little bit the other day, but like where we're at right now, to break this structure, we can still go 15% once we go through there. Even you can go a little bit higher than 15% because as you saw, like right here, we broke through, but then we got rejected and came right back down, and we got rejected hard and fell hard, right? And so we can build up some momentum, kind of sweep some of that the liquidity up, and then boom, drop back down. Which I have actually thought we've been meaning to do the last couple days, but like at night, I'll tell you what, the bulls are in control, or there's some kind of crazy manipulation where every indicator points we're going down, we're going down, we're going down, and it doesn't. Signal confusion. That's what they say. That's what they're calling it. All right. So Adam Back, $1.5 million. Let's go. If the total market value eventually reaches that of gold, okay. Well, how do we get there? You got to say, how do we get there? Key points. He projects Bitcoin could hit 1.5 million if the market cap matches global gold. Okay. Bitcoin has delivered top-tier annualized returns and strong risk-adjusted performance over the past decade. Institutional adoption is growing with strategies like a 2% long-term portfolio allocation gaining traction. 4% is what the JP Morgan? Was it JP Morgan? Or Bank of America? JP Morgan, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. It's 4% for their private wealth clients. Major firms including BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America are formalizing Bitcoin investment frameworks. Boom, there you go. Bitcoin recently held above 70K despite global geopolitical tensions demonstrating market resilience. And spot Bitcoin ETF saw a $1.1 billion net inflow. Whew, that was a loud clap. In March 2026, signaling renewed investor interest. Let's flip on over to this article, blocking Bitcoin in this country. Well, I talked about this, and I laughed earlier. And I said, oh, Canada, Vancouver officials have proposed to the city council that the Bitcoin-friendly city plan be canceled. Go back to sipping syrup and riding moose, buddy. The biggest example of Bitcoin adoption is El Salvador, which we all know, accepting Bitcoin as its currency while other countries and cities are following El Salvador's lead. Vancouver, Canada, however, is on its way to becoming one of them, maybe. According to Vancouver authorities, they've proposed canceling the Bitcoin-friendly city plan. Come on, Vancouver. Why? Officials have definitely determined that Bitcoin is not an authorized investment asset for the city under the Vancouver Charter and therefore recommend terminating this study. The motion titled Protecting the City's Purchasing Power Through Diversification of Financial Reserves, Becoming a Bitcoin-Friendly City was submitted by Mayor Ken Sim on November 2024. The greatest invention in human history. We all know that it is. It's the largest transformation of wealth in the history of humankind. Crypto is, but Bitcoin is leading the charge. Leading the charge. Come on, Vancouver. Come on. You got to be kidding me. Let's see. He's gonna pledge to donate $10,000 worth of Bitcoin to the city. What a guy. What a guy. Must be an OG. Cheers to all the countries and cities that are going through with their strategic reserves. Yo, doesn't matter. You know what? My guy, next level. GM, by the way. GM, everybody. Make sure you're smashing that like button. But this guy, up or down, maybe sideways, doesn't even matter because it's pizza day. Let's go. You're right. GM, all the chatters. Maybe I'll put that. We can do that if you guys want. Oh, man. Do we get a... That's it. We already went through this one. All right. Come on, Vancouver. Get with it. You need the strategic reserve. And in other news, analyst claims Bitcoin will crash to 45K in 12 days, calling the 73K move a bull trap. I wouldn't call it a bull trap. I would call it a correction. I would call it a healthy move. Because remember, we've talked about this before. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. And if we look at it on, because you can see right here, it's this right here. Even while we're sliding down, we had this nice move. This was a 20% move up here. Here was the top. It's still, remember it came out there. So this was a 20. We're 20% now from where we bottomed out right here. So we could go up more, or where we were yesterday. We could go up more. We could have a little bit more fun going up, and history doesn't repeat; it rhymes, kind of a thing. But it could just be a little breathing room, a correction. Remember, markets are cyclical; they go up, they go down. That's the healthy part of it. So again, we could go up to let's just on this particular day and still be within this downtrend. We could go up to $81,703. Is that going to happen? I doubt it. It could, but I doubt it. We've seen big moves before. This thing, it moves down quick. It can move up quick. We saw that, back, I think, at the end of 2024 when, was it 2024? No, yeah, right here, 2024. When it just zipped up, like, we were talking about, at this point, right over here, we were talking about Bitcoin, right here. We were talking about Bitcoin living on like stilts, like the houses in the Keys, like for sure. A hurricane could have blown those suckers over, and eventually it did, right? Like we did go up, but we came back down. We had a little bit of a down here, and then ultimately up, and our big move down here that has brought us to where we are today. And so back to let's see, we were this one right here. We weren't going to read this. We just wanted to read that headline because it further validates like kind of what there's other people thinking what we're thinking. Now, if everybody starts thinking that we're going to crash, then we know what's going to happen. We're going to go up. We got to have a mixed bag. And so it's good that people are calling for $1 million Bitcoin. It's good that people are calling for $45,000 Bitcoin because then you get the mixture. It's mixed noise. The signal is different, and that's why it's up to us to go through these headlines and read it. Like today, ultimately, I will tell you, like the alerts that I get and all that stuff that we talk about was all dog shit. Like the news today was not all that good. I had to go like looking on crypto panic on some other places to find some other news because the stuff that we're normally looking at it was not readily available, and so. I think that goes to say, sometimes with the narrative, like if the information is not as available as it normally is, that's a signal, right? And with when you pay attention daily, right? Like we're here every day, we have been for years. You understand that like if the news narrative is bullish, we're probably heading in the right direction. If it's bearish, we're probably heading in the right direction. If the news is obviously like right now, the market's in indecision mode. There's plenty of days and plenty of candles where they're indecision candles, right? They're where they just kind of sit in the middle, and that's the thing. It's consolidation mode. We're just kind of like hanging out, waiting for the next move, and it could be up, it could be down, and analysts and everybody is doing their best to figure it out. But ultimately, que sera, baby. 75 is the next target. I've heard a lot of people saying 75 too, so we'll see. 75 and then down to the 45. We're 38, not 39. So it's 39.6 and 38.9 are like the two numbers that I've come up with. So we're saying like, let's just say 39, 39,000. Mike Lowry. All right. We saw that chart. BlackRock CEO advocates for asset tokenization to reduce the costs. We understand that when this is going to happen. So Larry Fink is saying he's highlighting inefficiencies in the financial sector, emphasizing the presence of numerous intermediaries and lengthy settlement processes. Currently, there's 4.1 trillion in global digital wallets. To invest in bonds, stocks, or real estate, funds must be transferred from digital to traditional wallets, incurring various commissions and fees. It was funny at the event that I was at in New York. We were having conversations about traditional finance, and the people who are in traditional finance said it's really strange that we have to call this traditional finance now because like we always just called it finance, and now now that crypto's on the scene, it's TradFi, it's traditional finance, it's all these things when it used to just be finance. I thought that was funny, and the traditional wallets and talking about where people are going and all that. That's put that connection in. Anyway, the concept of tokenizing, including real estate, aims to substantially lower these friction costs and making investments easier and more straightforward. This will facilitate a more fluid investment process. Boom. We've got the RWA.XYZ chart open here. The distributed asset value here, the global market of tokenized assets here is growing every single day. Every single day. I believe this was at like 21 billion when we started looking at this a few weeks ago. Now we're at 26 billion. Growing. And will be exponentially larger once once all these rails and products and everything come into full fruition solutions. So we know, and we'll be talking about like tokenized stocks and stuff in a little bit here. I've got a video actually up for us today. Let me see. Let me go. Where is it? There we go. It's about. Oh, this is about something different. So this is about Coinbase blurring the line between Wall Street and Web3. It's about them issuing stocks and all that kind of stuff. So we'll watch a few minutes of that and react in a little bit when we get to that. That's a little bit later in the show. But for now, let's go back to RWAs. The whole idea of us looking at U.S. Treasuries is a big thing too. Again, especially with what Ando's doing, and that's a big deal of what we're talking about. You can see they're up here, number 3 in Treasury product metrics with Ando US dollar, so OUSD and then USDY, the two products that they have there. And then you got Circle USYC coming on the scene, and then BlackRock. Put them up. Circle back. Okay, there you go. All right, and then top entities: Securitize, Ondo, Circle, Franklin Templeton. There you go. There's your, and Liberia. There's your top 5 top entities. These are just great sites to be looking at when if you're trying to improve your portfolio and your investment thesis. Again, the things that I talked about earlier in the show today about finding ways to grow, mature the ecosystem and grow up and teach people in the right way. That it's not so much about being degens anymore. I think it's about making the right decisions and all that. And at some point, the meme coin casino will always be there. I get it. And just like Vegas is always there, but we don't live in fucking Vegas. And some people do, but don't you understand what I'm saying? You don't live on Bourbon Street. You don't live on Beale Street. You don't live on those places. You go there and visit them, and then you go home and you live your normal life. You go back, you invest normally. And then sometimes you go play at the casino. That's the way that some people just live in crypto. They live at the casino, and that's not right. That's not good. That's not smart. And some people will win. I get it. I get the success stories are what lure people into all of that. Is that you could turn a couple bucks into $1 jillion real fast. But for the most part, most people, they don't have that opportunity. And so people should be smarter. They should be using different strategies and just be investing a little bit wiser. So that's why we're looking at RWAs. RWA.XYZ. Great site. And it's been fun. I've been using this for a while and actually ran into some high ups over there in New York City and chatted with them. So it's been, I got to give a little bit of feedback. I wish there was, and unless I'm like totally mistaken, there is not a way to turn this bright view off. It is only, and that's something I should have said to him. It's only day mode, and I would prefer night mode, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm a night mode kind of guy. I like everything a little bit darker, as you can mostly tell. Anyhow, let's move on. This was our little RWA stuff. Yeah, David's saying loves the site, very well laid out, 100%. All right, crypto ETFs flipped from 650 million in inflow to 329 million outflow in just 24 hours. It's crypto is a fickle mistress. I will tell you what, and institutions are just trying to make a buck, and so that's why you can see the inflows outflows change real fast, and that's why we use every single day. Every day I'm looking at this. You go to CoinGlass, you can look at this. This is all free. These are all free sites to look at, by the way, guys. So everybody should be checking this out. And if you need any information, just let me know. I can drop you links, all that stuff. We can have conversations. We'll be having some guests on starting next week, next Wednesday. So anybody watching the show, if you would like to be a guest on this show, if you want to be a guest and sit and we'll talk, we can look at charts, we can talk news, we can talk all of it. Just let me know, drop it in the chat, drop me a comment, or shoot me a DM on X. Either way, or even on LinkedIn. That's right. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The triple threat. Let's get it. So I hope you guys are doing well. Night mode was be nice. 100%. There you go. David, he is watching over on LinkedIn. I love that. Appreciate you, sir. But look, okay, so just about what we were talking about right there. We have got this week. Here's this week, right? Like we started with was it two? How many? Where's the first at? Was that Sunday then? Was Monday a holiday? No. Why do we only have that many days? Second. Oh, we don't have the 6th here. I'm a bozo. Okay, so this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the 6th is today. All this stuff will come up later today. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. Okay, so you can see we had, especially with the IBIT, and that's BlackRock, right? They were huge inflows all week. I would say the outflow, who cares, right? Like you bring in 13,000 and you 1.2 thousand you let go, less than 10%. Who cares? Whatever. It's business, up and down. But the problem is everybody, the last couple days, we've had some activity. There was some that was, I don't know if that's data reporting all those zeros or if there was just no activity. Maybe they're out of the game. They've paused activity. Who knows? Some of these, it's ARK. ARK Investments is ARK B. What's BitB? BitB. BitB is the Bitwise. ARK is 21. BITO is the Pro Shares Bitcoin ETF. HODL is Van Eck. Okay, I was wondering who had the HODL. HODL. Bits. That's a good one. Bits. I like that. BTF. That's a good one. Beth. Whatever. All right. That's some ETF information. Swim with the fishes. They're not, yesterday was a selling day. We'll see what today ends up being. That'll open up probably in a little bit here. So we can check that. But, the markets are reacting accordingly, I'm sure. Once we get all the information, you got numbers, and you figure out what institutions are doing. All right. Is Ripple close to becoming a federally regulated U.S. trust bank? The OCC gave them a final review, and let's see what this says down here. Ripple continuing to work through post the last pre-operating opening requirements for the Ripple National Trust Bank. Let's see. The OCC issued a conditional approval in December last year. Now they aim to complete the remaining steps for full authorization. It will allow Ripple to operate as a federally regulated trust bank within the U.S. banking system. Interesting. Kraken just got in there. The trust license grants authority for custody and settlement services, but not allow traditional deposits or consumer loans. Ripple plans to use the charter to support institutional custody, cross-border settlements, and reserves for USD-pegged stablecoin RLUSD. The company positions RNTB as a regulated entry point for institutions using digital assets. Okay. You got their New York financial services. Ripple stablecoin treasury activity expands. Okay. Well, they're printing. They're always printing. I just don't know. I just don't know about XRP as like a long-term solution as like getting rich. I don't know anymore. I'm not a fudster. Don't mark me a fudster. I ain't fudding nobody. I ain't a fuddy duddy. We're trying that again. Oop, couple drips. Right on the old mouse pad. So I'm not fudding XRP or Ripple. Obviously, Ripple and XRP are two different things. If you don't know that, you got to do some research. Let's take a look at the Ripple chart. Just like some other things. Look at that. We are in a downward slide. Let's zoom in. That's the daily. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let's go on the 30-minute. Let's just see what today brings. for XRP. Okay, well, actually, we are making new highs. Well, all right, we could close above that and get right through it. We could actually escape a lot of these wicks. We'll just go with some bodies. We'll go with a little bit of activity out. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right, guys. It's not that big of a deal. So we touch more. We'll go like that. So we got an opportunity to come back in, but we're still, I wouldn't say that this is a downtrend yet. I wouldn't, because it's still ultimately, let's go this. Here's you got the bottom down here and it's up here. If we break this down here, we've got a lower low, breaking structure. But I would say that we're still up. I mean, who cares where I've drawn this line? It is still going up. And so dark mode is a sight saver, 100%. 100%. I think a lot of us look at the screens far too much throughout the day. And nobody wants to be looking at a light screen. Nobody. Is it a lady thing? I'm just kidding. Joke. I'm joking, dudes. So if we look, we've got an even, so this is the 30-minute. So we're on obviously a trend down. We are on a multi-day up, but also remember when we zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out, we are on a multi-month thing. So it's really interesting how, different time frames tell different stories about where we are. Bullish to some extent, bullish on some time frames, extremely bearish on some others. Because look, we're not even on the high side of, now, does that mean that there's opportunity if we have a breakout? 100%. But are you going to front run that? Are you going to know that? No, because there's a lot of other breakouts that have to happen in order to even get to this other high side. And then from there, boom, whatever. But catalysts and all things aside, it's not telling a bullish story when you just back it out just a little bit. Again, if you put yourself on a small time frame, like a 10-minute time frame, let's see what it looks like there. Yeah, that looks shitty, right? That looks bearish as fuck. So what are you gonna do, right? Oh, Bitcoin's dropping. Damn, man, we got wicked out of our trade, and then it fucking we're at 69.3. It happens. Hey, it happens. Everything's dipping now, huh? That's XRP. What's ETH doing with this chart here? Yep, the market is going. There's the Friday dump. Now, look, if this thing catches and it holds somewhere, I would firmly believe that there is opportunity. Say that we hold around here, right? To get back up to the daily, which it does. That's 1.5%. Throw a little leverage on there, your book. You may, let's do this, actually. Let's look at the heat. Symbol. Look, everything down here just got smoked out. So we either continue to go down or we whipsaw and we clear that up. We go back to 72, goes back up to 75. Just like we were, the chat had said, who had said that? 75 is the next target. Brian, 100%, right? This could just be, that could be a trap. That could just be a trap for, people to let their longs go. And you never know. You never know. Just a little liquidity swipe. Just clean some people out and then rip it. Yeah. Whoa. Damn. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. See, things look okay here, but when we go to the 5-minute, ET, ouch. Ah. There we go. Sorry, it took me a few minutes to get to. But there you go. We are Dumpskis. Dump City. Ooh, you know what we forgot to do today? I won't start it now. We forgot to play some music. It's all right. It happens. We'll be back to that on Monday. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back. We talked about Ripple. We looked at the Ripple chart. U.S. Federal Reserve, OCC approves banks to handle tokenized securities with new capital rules. I mean, this is just like it furthers the story about what we just talked about with Ripple, right? Let's go through this. We can go through the highlights here. Regulators confirmed that tokenized securities will receive the same capital treatment as traditional securities. This essentially is green light for banks to handle these assets. Authorities issue the clarification after noticing increased bank interest. Here is a chart that kind of goes along with that whole thing, and the market cap for tokenized stocks. Because if you do look at some of these things down in here, and I know we're going to look at that video in just a little bit too, with the tokenized stocks here, but tokenized securities. Regulators in the U.S. banking sector made a clarification on Thursday that banks should not be expected to hold additional capital in the event of losses while working with blockchain-based securities, and the regulations are technology neutral. Let's see, we've got a quote. This right here. Technologies used to issue and transact in a security do not generally impact its capital treatment. And that is that. Here we go. There was our chart. This is the market cap for tokenized stocks. You can see they are grouped by chain. You got Solana, BNB, ETH, Arbitrum, Gnosis, Base, Polygon, Avalanche, Blast. Can we turn any of these on? Yes, we can. Who cares about Blast, Avalanche, Polygon? Base will keep. Gnosis we won't. Arbitrum we won't. Those are our threes. Those are our four. Solana, BNB, ETH, and Base. ETH is obviously the biggest. Will always be the biggest. It is the king as far as like DeFi and that kind of stuff goes. I don't think any of that stuff will ever get shifted on a large scale to another chain. I just don't see it. So, all right, here is that video. Let's watch just a few minutes of it, if you guys are cool with that, and then hopefully you should be able to hear it.
Product.
Yeah.
Your users are going to have access to stocks within the platform, laying the groundwork, like I said, for tokenized stocks in the future. Talk to me about what this means for Coinbase moving forward.
Well, so just to lay the groundwork, back in December, we announced that we were going to be rolling out equities on Coinbase. We announced a 1% rollout of it. And last week, we gave it to all of our users. So now over 8,000 stocks and ETFs are available for Coinbase users in the US to trade 24/5. What this means for the future is we've got a really exciting roadmap of people being able to blend seamlessly across different asset classes, starting, of course, with crypto, but also including placing predictions, making buys and sells of equities, and so on. And so we are really excited about it. We call it the Everything Exchange. It's a concept that we rolled out back at our event in December. And 2026 is going to be a big year for Coinbase.
All right, this rolled out just about a week ago.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how folks have been using it and what's the interest been like.
Interest has been great. People love having all of these different assets in one place on one platform. You know, we have so much liquidity that's been built on the exchange with crypto, and that liquidity is really starting to find a home in different asset classes and being able to be more interchangeable. And so interest with 1 week in has been great, and we're seeing really strong adoption across our user base here in the US.
Now there's a partnership with Yahoo.
Okay, well, I don't use Coinbase. I know people that do. I don't use Coinbase, but I understand, you know, with where they've positioned themselves and where they're headed. Right, they're too also, I believe, moving towards becoming a bank. Right, let's. Right. Then there's news about them becoming a bank. I thought that there was. I know that you know, obviously with the banks, with the Clarity Act and how they're trying to position, you know, the stablecoin stuff. It's the banks against the crypto industry because, you know, crypto wants to offer more yield that the banks can obviously compete with. It is what it is. Now, okay, so maybe it was. I know Crypto.com wants to become a bank. I'm pretty sure that Coinbase was on their way. I'm fairly confident that we talked about this maybe earlier in the week or last week. And then, you know, now with Ripple, same kind of thing. to see them offer more services and become included into, again, the larger conversation of finance, and where that sits, that's a great thing. Do we ultimately all agree on the policies and philosophies of Brian Armstrong and of Coinbase? No, not at all. I don't use the platform. But that's for my own reasons. It doesn't mean that it's a bad platform. That doesn't mean that they do bad things. I just don't use it. But the inclusion into all of these companies that are crypto native, inclusion into what is now the financial ecosystem, alongside of the idea of Bitcoin, is massive. It's a big opportunity, right? Like, there is no CEO, there is no board of Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin, the company, can't join these things because it doesn't have that. But these cryptos, these companies that have come up because of of the need, like, being included into the larger conversation is just further showing that the ecosystem is growing and becoming adopted. And we all know that. We talk about tokenization. We talk about institutions. This is stuff that we talk about every single day. And so the writing is very clear. It is on the wall. We know where this is going. Does the price match the sentiment? Maybe not. Does that matter? I don't think so anymore. I mean, I think that if we zoom out and we understand, like, look, again, let's go to not even Bitcoin. This is just total. Well, all right, we're getting fucking whacked on all across the board right now. So that's a bad example. But when we zoom out, that's a big ass drop. Shit. Look, we were talking earlier in the show about needing to clear out some dog shit. That's what's going to happen here. A lot of projects, a lot of solutions, a lot of time and energy vampires, a lot of what other shitty names can I call these people and these entities? Anyway, they are going to go because at some point the grift is up. You can't sustain. And so, that being said, sayonara. And that's what we need. We need the space to get cleaned up of the extractors. We need the space to get cleaned up of all this. And so events like this is what does. That's what it happens. So numbers are not important. Gains with chains. We ain't getting, well, unless you got a short in. I got stopped out of my fucking short before it went down. Stupid. Anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. Like, when you're practicing risk mitigation, it bumped up, and we didn't want the market to change direction on us. So ultimately, we knew we were right in guessing the right direction. But that's why I fucking hate stop losses. You guys know that. You got to let the market breathe. You guys are the ones that make me put these things in. I'm kidding. Thing to come down a little bit more. Does that not? That doesn't do that. All right. Well, so we've broken out. We've technically broken out of our breakdown structure. So I'm telling you, that was a sharp ass move. This could be a liquidity day. It could go days like that. You never know. There's no scam wick. It could just go down, clear up all the longs, and then you go down and clear up all the shorts. You never know. And continue on one way or the other. At 9:15, or at 9:30 when the market opens, there's usually not a ton of liquidity. So obviously someone let go of something, and once we start seeing, are the ETFs, is that back open yet? Nope. It still says let's refresh. No, it's there, but no data yet. But we'll probably see another outflow day today, especially if the price is dipping like this. People say, I'm out. Yeah, I'm gonna get in lower. Get in lower next week. So, I think that's it. That's it. That is everything. The market's hopefully gonna stabilize here. It is Friday. If we do want a pizza, I don't know. Did anybody order pizza throughout the show? Let me scan the chat really quick. You can order a pizza now if you'd like. If you don't want pizza, it's okay by me. It's okay by me. No pizzas. scroll on the bottom. There you go. Slices. Everybody slices all around. You get a slice. You get a slice. You get a slice. But in order to get a slice, what you got to do is you got to smash the like button on whatever platform you're watching. If you're watching over on YouTube, you know the drill. Smash the like button. If you are watching on X, hit the heart. Repost the video. Tag some friends. We'll be back on Monday. We'll see what kind of activity we get into this weekend. I know I got some leaves to rake. I got some outdoor activities to do. It's going to be beautiful today. Like I said, it's going to be 80 degrees. What is it right now? It is 65. We got a high of 80 today, 65 right now. Definitely going to be outside getting some fresh air, touching some grass. I hope you guys get an opportunity to do the same thing. We'll be watching the charts. We'll be monitoring the situation to see what goes on. Definitely wish I was still in my short, but as the cookie, as it crumbles, we were stopped out before the magic happened. But the good thing about trading is that there will be another opportunity. We know that. We know that unequivocally, and that's why we do it. So make sure if you guys get the opportunity, I'm going to be putting together. I know I got the little rotating graphic that flips on the screen, but I think this weekend I'm going to be shooting some commercials. There'll also be videos of the post, or whatever. But I'm going to be have a commercial about all the things that we're doing. So it's official. I talked to my guy over at BitUnex for the starting tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. This is the alpha, the hot heat. Starting tomorrow, we're doing a new campaign, a new sign-up campaign. The sign-up bonus is back, baby, from March 7th to April 7th. We're running a month-long special. You get the sign-up bonus, 20% sign-up bonus, but not only that. And I don't know the details yet for the trade volume bonus, but there is a trade volume bonus. So if you're already trading, you're going to get extra money just for trading. Come on now. How could you go wrong? How could you go wrong with that? So make sure that you join the trade crew. If you want to, if you need that link from me, it is in the descriptions of the video. I will put it in the description of this live stream after the show, so you can check it out there. And then again, I'll be putting out some more posts and stuff this weekend that'll have the links, especially to the new campaign. So make sure you sign up, get trading with us. Let's make some fucking money. That's the good thing about trading. We can do longs and shorts. We can short the market when it's ultimately going down, like today. Hopefully you guys got to short it, or when it would go back up, or even intraday. Like, look, there's days like this where you could have got yourself. That's over 2%. Throw a little leverage on there. That's a scoopity scoop. That's a scoopity scoop, baby. You just never know where it's going to go throughout the day. But that's why we start early. We set our lines. We set our alerts. I'm going to be getting into finalizing some stuff in the Discord, and then we'll get that sucker live. And then this way, that's where we're going to do a lot of our communication. So possibly not next Friday, but the Friday, 2 Fridays from now. Let me look at the map ski, or the 20th, possibly the 20th. St. Patty's Day week. Ta-ta-tee, nobody takes me lucky charms. The 20th. Let's plan on probably doing Pizza Friday in the Discord, so the whole community that is in there. And I think what I'm going to do is we'll have all different access points. There will be like a free to get in, just like a general chat, but no information in there. It's just going to be a general chat. We'll have that. And then maybe the Pizza Friday, so people can come into the Discord. And then from there, the behind the paywall will be all the other stuff. And so we'll talk more about that. Probably next week. We'll continue to build it out, and then we'll be live with it the week following, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to Chicago again next week. So, all right, that does it for today. I hope you have yourself a wonderful, fantastic pizza today, and I hope that you have a wonderful, fantastic Friday, and then get into the weekend. Enjoy your time off. Go touch some grass. Get away from the charts. Get away from your screens. Go get a sweat. Break a sweat. Go do something that you've been procrastinating. Use the weekend wisely, and then we'll be back Monday morning. We'll break it all down. We'll see where it's going, and we'll win some trades. I'll be trading more today probably. We'll see where this thing shakes out and see if we stop moving and then go back up, or if we're gonna consolidate for a second and continue to go down. We'll check the chart, but I will keep you posted in the Discord. If you are in there, if you want to get in, shoot me a message. Let me know. But for now, that's it. Have yourself a good one. Thank you, guys. I know, look, it was early. Y'all could be doing anything, but you came and hung out with us. So thank you. See you.